I've been looking for the right dev machines for myself for a while now. There is a general trend where developers tend to prefer Mac over Windows machines, which doesn't come as a surprise to be honest. Although I've never managed to get accustomed to MacBooks, and especially the shortcuts for the IDEs, which is very different, as well as other reasons which I don't need to explain in this video. So starting from the fact I prefer to work on a Linux machine, I've been benchmarking a Dell XPS 15 with a dedicated Nvidia graphic card. The Dell XPS 15 is really well built machine, high spec and very suitable for working. But there is a but. As you may know, Nvidia drivers are not open source, so the Linux support is not always great. I've managed to install the Nvidia drivers with the guide linked in the video description below, and I've decided to run some tests to understand how good the Nvidia graphic card performs on Ubuntu. I first used this Phoronix test suite tool to benchmark the Nvidia drivers on Ubuntu. I have done a run at 1080p and got about 31 frames per second. As you can see, the result was in the 47th percentile, aka just about average. So I'm wondering if that is the Linux driver problem or the card isn't really that great. Probably a bit of both. I rebooted the system, indicating to use the integrated Intel graphic card UHD 630 instead, and I rerun the same test. This time it took about twice as long to complete. And as you can see, it does not look good either. When it completed, the final result gave me an average of 20 frames per second, falling into the 39th percentile. So we can tell the dedicated GeForce GTX was obviously better. The only game I have available to test is Call of Duty 4. I'm not a gamer and this game is definitely old, but I was able to bump up the graphics to the maximum allowed settings to see if it was still playable. As you can see, the Nvidia graphic card had no problems at all. Then I decided to restart and use the Intel version, and this was okay surprisingly, but I could definitely see the difference and it was not too smooth either. As a developer, I do actually record demo videos or presentation videos and edit them, so it can be useful to have a good graphic card on a dev laptop. I mocked up a quick project in KDN Live to test the rendering of a 6 minutes video. The Nvidia graphics completed the rendering task in 2 minutes and 39 seconds. The same test later on with the Intel graphic card completed the same task in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This was only marginally worse, but it may make a difference in longer videos. So what does this test prove? There are a few points. The integrated Intel UHD is surprisingly good. Honestly, I did not even expect it to be able to run Call of Duty 4 at maximum graphics settings, although it is an old game. The Nvidia GTX 960M is possibly just about average for gaming. Okay for everyday working, depending on what your job is, of course. For example, I mainly develop web applications and backend services, but also render simple videos. Gaming. I'm not interested in gaming specifically, but I feel this graphic card would not be enough for serious gamers, and it possibly not enough either for serious video rendering. Pricing. So you may wonder, is it good value for money? Well, it depends of course. If you compare on Dell laptops, for example, with the UHD graphic card and the same laptop with an Nvidia graphic card, you can see the price difference is about £80. If you're on a tight budget, you may prefer not to bother for the small performance gain. Otherwise, if you need a better graphic card, you may have to go with the more premium models such as the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 or the AMD Radeon RX Vega MGL. And this is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed and remember to subscribe for more content.